So it's been 11 days since I started my pump holiday, and there was no official end point to this. I was just gonna go until I felt that I wanted to go back on my pump. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous that that time would not come because I was so enjoying not being on the pump actually. However, the day has come. It's Saturday. I came off of my pump not last Tuesday, but the Tuesday prior. So it's been about 10, 11 days. And I'm ready. I'm ready to go back on my pump. I miss it. I miss the features. So it's reconnection time. And I feel really happy about that, in all honesty. But I did write down some pros and some cons. A lot of them I find are the exact same as what I mention in my honest truth about switching to an insulin pump, which I will link down below in case you guys haven't seen that, because I sort of go over the honest truth about it, the pros and the cons. And coming onto the pump holiday, I thought, you know, I wonder if those pros and those cons will still hold up. And indeed they do. I mean, I'm looking at my list here and it's bringing back so many memories of my writing my list out of the pros and cons when I made that video. But a few new insights as well. So things I have loved about not being on the pump and taking my pump holiday are as follows. 1, not having something physically attached to me 24/7. It makes a difference. There's no denying it. Having the pump on you is sometimes very bothersome and it's clunky, and you know, it's not really clunky, but it's just an extra thing you have to account for. And knowing where your site is when you're washing, like in the shower and whatnot, it's just another something you have to account for. So physically not having an item on and attached to me 24/7, definite pro. 2, this one kind of surprised me. Not having to go through the site change every 3 days. Not that it's a big rigmarole, but it's definitely something you have to do, and definitely something that I tend to put off. So I get the reminder and I'm like, yeah, I'll do that tonight. Yeah, I'll do that tonight. Yeah, the next morning. Sometimes I run it a few hours over. Not having to do that ritual, quite a plus. And the third pro for me has been knowing every time I give myself an injection that the full amount of that injection has gone into me. And I know that sounds a little bit odd, but when you think about a needle versus a plastic cannula that can be kinked, it can, you know, it can sit in a funny space where the absorption isn't great. I felt like I had 100% assurance every time that I took a shot, that more or less that full amount had gone into me and I'm good to go. Whereas sometimes when you change the pump out or something like that, I do kind of wonder if my sugars are running a bit funny. Has the cannula got a kink in it? Is something wrong with the infusion set? Whereas with the injections, I kind of just don't worry about that. So what are the cons? And you know what? My cons list is longer than my pros, and I am absolutely astounded that I'm even saying that right now, because I mean, I really thought like this was gonna be the dream, but then hang on a minute, there's a reason you went under the pump in the first place, Andrea, and those definitely became apparent to me. 1, oh man, I missed my temp basal so much. I'm quite an active person. I'm a bit of an exercise fiend. I love to go to the gym every day. That's something that really feeds me, keeps me happy. And that temp basal is ideal for that. And the fact that I didn't have that, oh man, I felt myself pulling for the glucose tablets. Yeah, and not having that was just struggle. Missed it so darn much. I cannot wait to get back on my pump and utilize that temp basal function. Second one, bruising. I remember the bruising, but I had kind of forgot about it. But I've got all these little bitty bruises where I've been doing my shots, which is mostly around my abdomen and the inner thighs. I mean, it's not a big deal. It really isn't in the grand scheme of things. It's not something that's ever really bothered me. But I sort of thought, oh yeah, this is the thing. And it's not so much a thing when you're using the infusion sets. At least I haven't experienced a lot of bruising with that. So yeah. The third thing, and I've touched on this already, the lows. My glucose tablets, once again, have become my very best friends. Not that they're not my best friends when I'm on the pump, but I don't reach for them as much. I find myself, even just after this 10 days, like almost needing to think about reordering my little 12-pack of tubes off of Amazon. That's a bore and that's laborious, and the lows are just, they get me every time, and this is exactly the reason I switched to an insulin pump. And coming on to the multiple daily injections on my pump holiday is no different. Shouldn't have been surprised, but of course I lived in hope that it would just be smooth sailing, I suppose, or I don't know. But the lows, they've been more present. With the pen, I have a half unit pen. However, the insulin pump goes by 1/10 of a unit. And you can chop and change, of course, what your basal rates are at different times. And this is just incredible technology that makes such a difference. And so when I'm doing just a whack of a half unit or a full unit, that's as tailored as it's gonna get. And once my Lantus is on board, that's as tailored as it's gonna get. I can add units, I can take them away, but I cannot do it in the moment like you can with a pump, going back to the temp basal. Once that Lantus is on board, it's on board. The fact of the matter is, it's just not as accurate as an insulin pump. And an insulin pump way more closely mirrors the pancreas and how it works. Yeah, I mean, I did know this, of course, but coming onto the pump holiday has given me that appreciation. And the final one, so this is my 4th con, is that I really missed having my supplies on me or nearby. You know, I had to worry about where these 2 bad boys were at all times, which was actually kind of a memory, a muscle memory that I needed to get back into me, because I found myself leaving the house thinking, oh yeah, I got all my supplies, because normally it's on my hip. But these, you know, are obviously not. I was in like a pub last night and I was thinking, well, should I set my bag down but then hold the pens? You know, what should I do? These thoughts would never cross my mind if I have my pump on me, because I got my pump on me and that's it. I got my phone to scan my Libre, I got my blood sugar machine for backup, bada bing. But all this being said, my pump holiday sort of did exactly what I wanted it and exactly what I needed it to do. And that is, it gave me a break from the pump. It gave me a break from that physical kind of presence that comes with having a pump on your hip at all times. It allowed me to step back and really re-appreciate the beauty that is the pump and why I've made this decision to go on the pump and why I love it so much. I was struggling. Before I went on my pump holiday, I was feeling a bit like, oh, you know, this is a bit bothersome. Part of it was because of the heat, like I said, but yeah, it's just, I needed a change. And I didn't know how long I would need that change for, but turns out 10, 11 days, that's it. I'm so ready to go back, and I'm so happy to go back. And I'm just thrilled to be able to say that. And also, doing this pump holiday has given me the confidence that I can do this again. It's not like a one and done. And it's not this big scary thing that I kind of had it in my mind as. In terms of going back on, I haven't taken my evening dose of Lantus, so I'm just going to hop straight onto this and have my dinner. I also haven't had dinner yet, so I'm sort of coming back on at the same time I came off. That sweet dinner time spot where I'm not taking my long acting and I'm about to take a slug of insulin because I'm gonna have a meal. That's worked really well for me. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, so much for following me on this journey. I really hope it's helped some of you, maybe given you the confidence or some ideas about multiple daily injections versus the pump, taking a pump holiday, all the rest of it. I'm really grateful that you've taken this time to watch this video, and please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. You know where I am. I'll meet you down there in the comments and we can talk this over. If you guys have any video suggestions or anything like that, again, pop them down below, give me a message, let me know what you want to see. Wishing you guys a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are, and wishing you great blood sugars, steady lines, all the rest of it, but most of all, a happy, healthy mind with it all. Thanks, guys.